Welcome to my YouTube channel. Your teacher, Mr. Nkandu, on the Learning Pedagogy platform. Okay, so today we are looking at this question. Write down the three inequalities that define the unshaded region on the diagram below. So this question is coming from linear programming, which is actually found in paper 1. Okay, so this is how they ask questions, and this is 5 marks. Okay, so now when they say inequalities, they can sometimes use another word, alternative word, which is constraints or restrictions. Okay, don't get confused. It means they are talking about the same thing. So now, how do we write the inequalities or constraints or restrictions when you are given the lines? Okay, so now this one, when you look at the Cartesian plane that we have 3 lines. There is this one, there is also this one, and this one. So no wonder why they are saying we should write 3 inequalities, because we have 3 lines there. So now let us start with this one, which is intersecting y-axis only. We are going to start with that one, and we are going to name it as the number 1. Okay, so 1. So this inequality, it is intercepting y-axis on 6. Okay, 0.6. So this is 0.6. So meaning when writing there, it is going to be y is equals to what? 6. Okay. Now this is equation. Now I want to write inequation. That is inequality. This is quality. I want to write inequality. So inequality simply means we have to remove this equals that we have there. Okay. We have to remove. So what are we going to do for us to remove the equals? We are going to follow the condition that we are given. They are saying unwanted region on the diagram below. So these sides that are shaded are called unwanted region. Now when writing here as, we need to consider the what? The wanted region. That is the condition which is there. So meaning now, when we look at this line closely, you tell me that this line is a solid line. It is a bold line. There is no broken pieces there. It is just a straight. When you have such kind of line, when writing the inequality there, the inequality is either going to be greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, depending on what the condition that we have. Okay, so let us do that now. So when you look at this shaded part, it is actually telling us that where it is shaded, the y is greater than what? 6. Greater or equal to 6, where it is shaded. So when writing has, we need to write the less or equal to 6. Y is less or equal to 6. That's what we are supposed to write. So meaning it to be y less or equal to 6. That is the inequality 1. Then we go to inequality 2. So when you look at this inequality now, we can either start with this one or this one. So let's start with this one. So this one is different from the first one. The second one now is intercepting. That line is intercepting both x-axis and y-axis. So now for us to find the equation or inequation of that line, it means we have to first find the what? The gradient of this same line. This line has got a gradient, the one that we are going to find. So the gradient of this line, the coordinates we are given, down here we have 2, 0, top there, still the same, okay? Because this line is also intercepting at the same point with the first line, which is 0.6, okay? So now, let us correct the coordinates so that we can find the gradient of this line. So the coordinates we have, we can write them here. Let me just write them here. So we have the first one is 0.6, then the other one is 2 comma 0. That is where it is intercepting y-axis. That is where it is intercepting x-axis. Okay, so now from there we can name this as x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's find the gradient now. Very easy because the coordinates are in place. So we are going to say difference in y over difference in what? X. That is the formula for gradient. Okay. So here when writing the formula for gradient, you can either start with y2 minus y1. Then if you start with y2 minus y1, we should down there the denominator also. We should start with the x2 minus x1. That is the way to go. Otherwise, the gradient will still be the same. So y1, which is 6, minus, we are substituting y2. y2 is here 0. Then over x1, 0. Then minus x2. x2 is what? 2. Okay. So there now we are going to have 6 over negative 2. So this one will give us what? Negative 3. So the gradient of this line is negative 3. So after finding the gradient now, we go to the formula of finding the equation. Okay. The formula of finding the equation. The issue of inequality will come later after we have found the equation. Okay. So now, the equation, we can either use gradient point form or gradient intercept form. So let us use gradient intercept form. Y minus y1, m then x minus x1. Okay, so let's substitute. So y minus y1, what is our y1? Our y1 is 6, then equals our gradient in this case, which is represented by letter m, is 3, then x minus our x1 is 0. Okay, so from there we can simplify further. When we multiply, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, then negative 3 times 0 there is 0, so we can't write anything there. Okay, then from there we can boldly say, or remember here we have a 6. Okay, so boldly this 6 will go this side now, where it will be positive 6. Okay, so now this is our equation now. Okay, our equation is equals to y is equals to negative 3x plus 6. That is our equation of this line. Now let's make it inequality by changing the sign, because the sign that we have there is equals. So this time around we want to have a what? An equality. So inequality again would depend on, first of all, we consider the line. Is it a bold line? Yes. So since it is a solid or bold line, we are going to use either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Okay, because the line is what? Bold. So now that you have identified, then we can go to the next one, which is now the inequality that we are going to use. So we look at the shaded part. The shaded part, this is unwanted, so we need to consider the wanted region. So unwanted region here is, when you look at this, x is reducing, y is also reducing when you are going this side. Okay, so meaning when writing here now, this one will change to where it is increasing. Don't need to waste much time there, just write this plus 6. So this is it, inequality what? 2. We started from there, it is ending here. Okay, then from there we go to the last inequality. So the last inequality, it will fit from this side. We can write it from here. So number 3. So number 3 inequality. So we are saying this is also a line which requires it to have a what? A gradient. Okay, because these horizontal lines, this one the gradient was 0. No wonder why you just go direct and where it is intercepting. Now for this one, it's going like this, so, and we are given the coordinates. Okay, here the coordinates is 8.6, then 8,6, then here we have 2,0. So we'll start by finding the what? The gradient of this same line. So y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay. So let's substitute. Here we can name this is x1, this is y1. So let me write here. So 2, these are the coordinates that we have. Then we have 8, 6. Okay, so this is y. This is x1, then y1, x2, y2. So let's substitute accordingly. So y1 is 0, then minus y2 is what? 6. 6 over. Then x1 is what? x1 is 2, which is this one. Then minus x2 is what? 8. Okay. Then from there, we can say that this is negative 6 over negative 8. So when we subtract this, what are we going to have? When we divide by, we are going to have 1. Oh no, that is 6 and the 8. No, 6, 6. When you subtract, this is also 6. Because 2 minus 8 is negative 6. So the answer will be 1. That would be our what? Our gradient. Okay. So now that we have corrected that gradient, now we can go to the equation itself. So y minus y1. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Y1 equals m. Then we have x minus x1. Then from there we can substitute. We are using this same one. Let me use this part. Looking at the space. So y minus y1. What is our y1 according to the coordinate that we have? We are using these coordinates. So y1 is 0. So put a 0 there. Then equals m. What is our m? Is 1. The gradient is 1. Okay. Then x minus x1 is what? x1. We are here. x1 is 2. So right to there. So y, then equals, because this is just 0, then when you multiply here, we are going to have x plus x minus c, x minus 2. 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Then from there now, we can look at the inequality. This is our equation of this line. So let's look at the inequality. Now let's start by identifying if the line is a bowed or broken. So when you look at this line is broken line. So meaning, depending on the condition, the inequality there is going to either be greater than or less than. That's all. There's no equal to there. Why? The line is a broken line. So there now we are going to say y. Then the shaded part, this side, x is increasing. Y is also increasing this side. Okay. Meaning we are going to shade this one, which is less. So y is less than x minus 2. Therefore, the answer. So this is how we answer linear programming in paper 1. Thank you so very much for following. For those of you who are visiting my YouTube channel for the first time, kindly subscribe for more exclusive videos. Thank you so much.